Welcome to the Tuning In podcast, where we talk alignment, intuition, and our internal guidance system. We cover woo-woo topics in an approachable and practical way. I'm your host, Dana Evans of Alignful.com. Hello, and welcome to the final episode of the Tuning In podcast for 2019. This is episode 17, and that means that I have been recording this for 17 weeks, which is almost 5 months, or I guess it's 4 months. I can't believe that. It is so fun to start something and commit to it and see what you create over the time of consistency and sharing and being open. And I really am so grateful to have each of you as a listener. It means the world to me. I hope it offers value to you. And as always, you're more than welcome to share it with anyone who you think might benefit or resonate with these messages. This is by far one of my favorite things that I do each week for my business. It's really magical, and it's become such a wonderful time for me to spend, honestly, for me to reflect, because I share this. I'm usually recording the podcast Monday or Tuesday, and it's released to you on Wednesday. So it is live in action, me sharing contemplations, reflections, and what I'm going through in the moment. And I am a strong believer that if I'm experiencing something and if I have a message that I need to hear, then there's a strong likelihood that others are experiencing something similar and also may need to hear or benefit from a message. I feel the collective energy, and I think we're all connected on such a deep level. So I hope this resonates. I just love this. There's more to come in 2020. And next week, I will not be releasing an episode because I'm taking a pause, a mindful break, which is actually what this episode is all about. So stay tuned for that. But also because I'm spending my time preparing the last details and getting myself ready to release the first month of content for the Align in 5 membership. And if you haven't heard on other episodes, this is my monthly membership that I'm starting to help you find physical, mental, and emotional alignment by tuning inward, accessing your inner voice, and starting to act from a place of what is right for you, not what is expected of you. And recording this podcast, I can't even explain how excited I am about this membership. I would love for you to join if that sounds like something you want. It's $22 a month. This is the only time it will be that inexpensive. It's a really wonderful price. I want to offer as much as I can at the most accessible entry point so that all of us can really get access to this information. And as a reminder, this membership is not about adding more to your to-do list. It's not a bunch of activities and things you have to do every day. It's more about letting go, making space for what you truly need, and integrating these things at a micro level, at the level of thoughts and actions and awareness. So if you haven't joined already, don't miss the boat. It is available this week still to jump in. Alignful.com/join. That's Alignful, ALIGNFUL.com/join. I would love to see your beautiful faces in that membership starting in January. So I wish you all the most beautiful holiday. I wish you all some breaks, and let's jump into the show and talk about honoring the pause. Happy Woo Woo Woohoo! Wednesday! I am so happy to have each of you here. And if you celebrate, it is Christmas Day in the United States, and I know Hanukkah is going on. So this is a time of activity. It's a time of family. It's a time for some of stress, of overwhelm, of busyness. And yet it's all disguised in this form of a holiday when we're supposed to be quintessentially relaxing, sitting by the fire, drinking hot cocoa. And that may or may not be your experience. But regardless of if you're even celebrating a holiday right now, this is a time, we just had the winter solstice, which is the shortest day of the year on this side of the world, the longest day of the year on the southern hemisphere. But here is a time to slow down, to go inward. And if you've listened to any of my previous episodes, yes, this is a theme. But it's a theme because it is what we need as humans. And it is also what we tend to dismiss and not allow ourselves to have. We live in a go, 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 to-do list based busyness, rallying, scheduled life. Lives are full. Our lives are full of commitments, of obligations, of to-dos, and guilt and shame and anxiety around not wanting to do those things. So I'm here to offer you today a moment of peace. An opportunity for you to honor the pause within your day. This week, I woke up the other day, it was Sunday actually, and my brain was running from the second I woke up. I had a lot on my mind. I had a lot of to-do list items, and I woke up around 5:30. And all I wanted to do was make my coffee and just get to it. Because in my mind, it felt like the faster I can start working, I had this kind of frantic, oh God, fearful energy. The faster I could start working, the more I could get done, the better I would be, the more I would accomplish, I'd be productive, and it would be a good day. Normally, or in the past version of Dana, I would have done that, made my coffee, got right to it. But I've learned quite a bit over the years, and here's one thing I know for sure. The energy that goes into what you're creating is directly related to the energy and the output of the product that you create. Whether this is recording a podcast, writing an email, creating content for a work project, making cookies for your kids' school, whatever it is, our energy and our intention behind our doing is, in my mind, as important as the doing itself. So I know that if I had content that I needed to create for my membership, which I did, if I woke up at 5:30 and rushed into that creating from a scarcity mindset of, I don't have enough time, I have to get this done, I just need to knock it out, that what I was creating was not going to be the high vibe aligned content that I want my people to receive. And I believe that that would be evidenced in the final product. I don't really have any way to prove this, but I sense it. And I believe that my people who are consuming this information are sensitive beings who can sense it as well. And my intention is always to only give the best, highest vibe content that I can provide so that you too can receive that from the same vibration that I'm giving it. So I took my own advice and I did not rush into the doing. Instead, I started my morning with being. I started my morning with the intention to settle my own energy, to ground myself and to remind myself of the why behind my creation, behind my need to do. So I made my lemon water. I make 28 ounces of warm lemon water, and I drink that first thing in the morning. Then I turned on the fire and I turned on a meditation. My cat joined me, and I just sat there and allowed myself to breathe and be. And the most interesting thing happened, where I woke up and I started off feeling really frantic. Through my sitting in meditation, through my mind wandering, which is totally okay when you're meditating, I started to have all these insights and thoughts and contemplations, and I started to get excited. In fact, I was so excited that I sent one of my business bestie friends, Shannon, like 5 different voice memos of all these thoughts and ideas and things that I was thinking about and I wanted her insights on. And my energy, my vibration started to rise. It went from the beta wave, really frantic, to a slower, more steady, higher wave. And I could feel it. So by giving myself, at first I only gave myself 10 minutes to just be. But then I wanted a little bit more. So it ended up being like a half an hour. So it was around 6:15 when I opened my computer to work. And I cannot tell you how easy the work came to me, how joyful I was in creating it, and how the end product was something that I really loved. It was because I gave myself the pause. And you might find yourself in a completely different situation. For example, you might have a bunch of family visiting you and staying at your house, and there's kids and dogs and aunts and uncles and cousins and sisters and people with lots of questions for you and demands upon your time because it's your house. But what if instead of waking up in the morning and rushing downstairs so you could take care of everyone else, what if you honored the pause before you start the day? What if you woke up and stayed in bed and played a meditation, or even, hey, this podcast? What if you consciously chose to wake up, choose a thought that will serve you through the day, like this is going to be a good day, I can handle whatever the day brings, I'm so happy to be surrounded by those I love, whatever fits you. What if you consciously chose a thought? What if you looked out your window and peeped at the sunrise, closed your eyes and just took a few breaths, infused it with gratitude, and settled all of your energy so that you could truly start your day with intention and not with the frantic need to serve and help everybody else with their day? You see, when you start your day that way, your energy shifts, just like mine did. And then when you step downstairs and you have all the family there, you can rest assured that you've created your own bubble of intention. And that carries you through not just the morning, but your whole day. And you may lose it. And then that just means it's another time to walk upstairs, close the door, close your eyes, and give yourself 5 minutes to reset. We have this deep fear of missing out, FOMO, right? I know it very well because I'm an Enneagram 7, and that's one of the traits we experience often. But sometimes that fear is so intense that we actually end up with the fear of missing in. Right? The fear of, we're so afraid of missing out that we actually miss being in, going inward, tuning in, tapping in, pausing, and breathing. The people will still be downstairs for you when you make it down. My content will still need to be created when I'm ready to create. But if I don't acknowledge my own energy, if I don't give myself a moment to recalibrate or many moments to recalibrate, then I'm not clear on what place I'm creating from. And creating or just being from. You may just be having to interact with people all day, and gosh, it's important so you don't absorb all of their energy, but rather you radiate your own energy. This is what a mindful pause gives you. The solstice is a really natural time to take a big pause. This time of year, for many of us, you have built-in holidays. The holidays are actual time off, but the choice is up to you of whether you spend that time being busy and frantic or whether you spend that time giving yourself more space, fewer commitments, more time to breathe and be, which could look like 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes at night, or it could look like an entire 4 hours that you block off to yourself, or a day or a week. We need to start where we are. The point isn't for you to drastically change your entire life and have to suddenly say no to everything you want to do and just go hide and be a hermit. But if you never start, you'll never get to really tap into that feeling of inner peace. Because that feeling cannot come when you're constantly bombarded with external expectations, demands on your time, and honestly, just noise. We have to find the quiet, and it comes from within. It is up to you to prioritize your alignment, to prioritize your peace. And sometimes it's really easy to do, and sometimes it's hard. But when you practice it when it's easy, when things start to get a little crazier, you've already developed that intention. You've already developed that practice. So it comes more naturally to you to do when things are busy. For example, if you wake up every day and you don't have anyone else living with you and you take your 5 minutes to yourself, well, then what happens when all of a sudden you have a bunch of visitors? You've already developed that relationship that you matter first. So you take those 5 minutes and then you show up for everyone else. So I'd like you to just consider how over the next week or two can you choose to pause? Can you choose to breathe and quiet that vibration that is always pulling at you in every direction? And the good news is we're going to do it together right now. So you can check it off for today. And possibly you can do this again later today. So if you're able, I would love for you to close your eyes and take a couple breaths. Now, if you're driving or unable to do this right now, pause the podcast. And when you have a moment, please restart it with your eyes closed. Find a seat. Even move your sit bones out from under you so you create a really wide and grounded seat. Closing your eyes. Oh, just that might feel really, really nice for you. And then together, let's take an inhale breath, and I'll count it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause. And then exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold it. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then on your own count, continue your deep breaths. What does it feel like to sit and silence. By creating the darkness and closing your eyes, you can send your attention inward. Is there any part of your body that's asking for your attention? Maybe your heart, your neck and shoulders, your gut. Just gently allow your attention to wander to that place. Check it out. And then breathe into that space. And then I invite you to bring your right hand to your heart. Fill your rib cage out into the space of your heart, into your hand. And repeat, I am here. I am here. I am here. Then inhale, deep breath. Exhale, release. On your next inhale, you can blink your eyes open. That's all it takes. And over time, you'll find that doing that once, twice, you might build it into every hour. Or when things start to get hectic, you might start to find that desire to retreat for a moment and recalibrate. Just know that honoring the pause means honoring yourself, means honoring your highest self. And it is okay to do this. It is okay to say, I need a minute. I'm going to go upstairs. I'm going to close my door, take a nap, take a breath, reset. And I'll be back when I'm ready. If you practice this over the next couple of weeks, whether it's 1 minute, 10 minutes, an hour, I would love to hear from you. You can send me a message on Instagram at Dana_Evans. And I just wish you all the most beautiful next couple of weeks. And I cannot wait to speak to you again on January 8th, 2020. Until next time, have a beautiful day. Thank you for joining me on another episode of the Tuning In podcast. As always, if this would resonate with anyone you know, please share the episode. You can follow along with my journey on Instagram at Dana_Evans or find me on my website at alignful.com.